Okay, family, it's your boy, your old school traveler. I'm back here to tell you about a couple things that's gonna bother you and may bother me. But I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Yeah, I went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I tell you the truth, I ain't gonna pull no punches. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I always tell you what happened to me. And now, this may not happen to you, but there's a good chance it's gonna happen to you no matter where I travel in the world, because I tell you about the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Now, let me tell you about San Juan. I'm a little biased. I am very biased when it comes to San Juan. I keep it real. I'm biased because San Juan is a place that I really, really, really want to like. I really want to like it. Now, you got some good, some bad. You got the old San Juan city. Now, I went to other parts of Puerto Rico as well. But I focused this video, and you're going to see in the video the places I went to. I wanted to go to the beaches. I wanted to try the food out. I wanted to see the nightlife. Yeah, I wanted to do all that, and I did all that. But I'm going to tell you some good and some bad. Because some people only wants to hear the good. And that's not how life is. Life is not just about the good things in life. Everybody don't get a trophy. Nah. This ain't Little League softball or baseball or whatever you want to call it, or soccer. But let me tell you, San Juan, old San Juan city, and Puerto Rico in general don't necessarily have the best beaches in the world, but they could. They could. Puerto Rico is almost like you stepping back a little bit, well, quite a lot. You stepping back into the past. And when I say that, it's just some things in Puerto Rico that needs to be fixed. The first thing that needs to be fixed is their infrastructure. You gotta fix the infrastructure, Puerto Rico, and people will come. Work on the beaches. People will come because you have the potential to have world-class beaches. Yes, you do. Do you? No. Can you? Yes. So don't feel like you can't get there. You're not as bad as the African countries where everybody is stealing everything. No, you're like a lot of other mid-level countries where everybody is stealing something, but not everything. And now they steal in the United States as well. We just call them politicians. Yeah, we call them politicians. That's all. And they just steal like everybody else do. Just that what they steal, they tend to leave you little crumbs so that you can, pick up the crumbs and do things yourself as well. Now, let's talk about Puerto Rico. Now, I always tell you about the crime. Yeah, they got a lot of crime there. They even look like they got a lot of crime. They just got, it's a very small area of haves, and you got a lot of areas of have-nots. I don't even want to call them have-nots, but you got people that it seems like everybody who wanted to leave Puerto Rico has moved to New York. They call them New Yorkers. They have moved to New York. The ones who are left are the ones who either are diehard loyalists to their culture and their island, or they are just stupid. Because all the ones who have left are the ones who wanted to leave, and the ones who they left behind are the ones that's not doing the best. I'm talking about socially and economically. And Puerto Rico, the people are, they're not friendly. No. But they're not mean either. They tend to leave you alone. Now, the ones that are in the hospitality field, they will do what it takes to make $1 for a day. They're not going to steal or rob you in the daytime or at the beaches. No, but they don't move fast either. They have their own pace that they go at. And a lot of countries are like that. And I don't expect for everyone to move like they're in the United States, 80 miles an hour when you really can get the same job done at 40. No, I don't expect that. But saying that, they got a lot of have-nots, it seems. And the infrastructure just sucks. Just totally sucks. You see one house and you see 18 power lines running to the one house. And now I'm not going to say they all stealing utilities or electricity. That could be the house with the only generator in town. No matter what, the infrastructure sucks. Now, saying that, I did enjoy the beaches, but it's not as touristy as a lot of other places like Aruba, where the beach drives the tourist and that drives the economy. Puerto Rico is not quite like that. Now, saying that, Puerto Rico is not cheap. It's cheaper than the United States, but it's not as cheap as people think it is. And I think because on every island, things are always more expensive because everything is flown in. The only thing that's not very expensive are things that are grown there and the seafood. Seafood is a very, very good deal. Now, I say that because, like I said, I really want to like Puerto Rico and San Juan. I can tolerate it, but it's not a place that I'm going to go to. I'm going to go visit more than once, every 5 or 6 years. I'm not going to do that. No, it's not that kind of place. So when I say that, it's a place that if you get a chance, it's worth it. But I think that what the problem is too is that people only see Puerto Rico for the cruise area. And that's not really Puerto Rico. I've never really been to a place where the only thing that matters is the cruise. I mean, I've never been to one. And the cruise industry is big. It's big. But my whole point is there are other parts of Puerto Rico that you would like and you would enjoy. But now let me tell you the really, really downside of Puerto Rico. Oh, the food is good. The food, the rum, all that stuff is world class and very, very good. All that stuff. You're going to get some of the best in the world. Now, the part of Puerto Rico I did not like, and it tainted my view of Puerto Rico and San Juan. Now, I said the part I didn't like. The part I did like was the old city. It's charming. I like the old city. But you don't see the people out there trying to hustle you to death. So what you see as a price in a store near the old city is what you're going to pay. You're not really going to negotiate. It's not one of these tourists hustle me out of every dollar. And I like that a lot. Now, I stayed at the Embassy Suites. Everybody knows I'm a Hilton person. And only because I got 2 million points, I stayed at the Embassy Suites. But let's get one thing. Now, I never told you what I didn't like. I just mentioned some negative things about it, like the infrastructure. That is really, really negative. But let me tell you what I did not like, and I'm going to show you in this video. When the sun goes down in Puerto Rico, I went out for the nightlife. And, I never had an issue or problem with the clubs or the bars or even, hanging out in the hotel ain't the same as going downtown. I went downtown in San Juan. Now, this is the part I did not like the most. When you walk away from the bars or the clubs or whatever, Puerto Rico looks, San Juan and a couple other cities, they look dangerous. It's like you're walking next to old abandoned cars, junk, trash. It looks very, very seedy. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I ran across an issue or a problem. It's just the look it gives you. Anybody can jump out from anywhere and, just accost you. It just do not look good. And like I said, that's the problem with the infrastructure is that the trash man got to come at least once a week. And it just don't give you I'm not going to get robbed feeling. It's not going to give you that. It's going to give you, when is it going to happen? Because I know I'm getting robbed. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. And that's exactly what it feels like. And now, and then you got the clubs and stuff, playing loud music. And I don't mind that in the club. But when you're outside the club and they're playing loud music and all this other stuff, yeah, that doesn't give you a good feeling because you're thinking if I get robbed, attacked, or whatever, no one's gonna hear, my scream for help or whatever's going on. No one's gonna hear it but me. So That's the part of Puerto Rico that you just don't feel good about at all. It's just the look it gives you. People standing around drinking rum outside the clubs or the bars or whatever have you, and smoking their cigarettes, and then you got to walk down. It seems like every street seems like an alley. I'm talking about the alley that you see in Philadelphia or Baltimore. It's an alley like almost like a no man's land. But if you stay in the tourist area and the old city and all that, that's all great because you can get Uber, you can get all kind of stuff to come get you. But some of the other places that's off the beaten path, you ain't quite feeling that way. Now, some people, when I do these videos, I show you where I went to. I show you proof. So if you write in like some people do and tell me what I'm telling you is not true, my eyes and my camera didn't lie to me. Now, you may live there and you may never go down these places, or you may know everybody in the alley. That's fine if you know everybody in the alley. But guess what? I don't. I don't know anybody in these damn alleys. And usually when there's 5 or 6 of them and just me, the odds are not in my favor. But I'm still back here telling you about the videos, about the cities. I've never had a problem, never had an issue, never been robbed, never been raped, none of that stuff. But I try to avoid going to places that I don't think I belong. Now, let's talk about something else in Puerto Rico. I always tell you about if I think a country food is diverse. Puerto Rico food is diverse as you can get. It's typical island food. You're not going to get your jerk chicken, but man, you get some good other foods, great other foods. Oh, I love the food. And the food's fairly cheap. I love the food. Now, do I think Puerto Rico is a place that anybody can make it? Absolutely. I think that if you go to Puerto Rico with nothing, because the people are not racist, they don't look racist, they didn't act racist. Like I said, they're just not the friendliest bunch I've ever run across. But they didn't cause me any problems either. I think that in Puerto Rico, because see, what people don't understand, Puerto Ricans come in all shades and color, all sizes and weights. Yeah, they come in all those. You can't look at somebody and say you Puerto Rican. You can't just do that because it's not like Japan. There's no feature that tells anybody you Puerto Rican. They can be Dominican, Cuban, they can be Puerto Rican, they can be all that stuff. And they all speak the same language or languages. So you can't just look from a distance. And I never once felt like I was treated differently based on my race. I never felt that way in Puerto Rico. Now, there are parts that you will notice that the ones who tends to do the best are the lighter skinned ones. The ones who do all the service help and all the hotel stuff. I'm talking about like not the ones who run in the hotel, the ones who cleaning your bed and cleaning your toilet. They all seem to be darker skinned. But I say that, but I only stayed in Embassy Suites, and that's one of the better hotels there, better resorts, and it's got a casino, and that could be because of the higher pay. It could be because of a lot of reasons, but I don't think so. I think it's just the culture of the Puerto Ricans. But I know that Puerto Ricans being brown skinned, some of them think they're white. They're not. Being brown skinned and being from an Indian tribe, because all the Caribbean came from the same tribe at some point. That's where they originated. They seem pretty much, if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, you can't. It's not because of them. If you got a product or a service that they want, you can make it there. You can make it there. Now, saying that, you don't see a lot of Puerto Ricans go to college. It's not like it's 20, 30, 40% like in the States. No. Not at all. It's almost like they go to high school and one out of every 20 go to college. The rest of them just happy doing whatever it is they're doing, playing with food or playing with the beaches or surfboards, or, whatever is in it, their normal day. Now, one thing I do like about Puerto Rico a lot, it's not just a tourist-driven island. They have other economies, not so much as large companies that are headquarters in Puerto Rico, but, the mom and pop stores run everything. The best jobs on the islands seems to be government jobs. I say it seems to be. It seems to be government jobs. So saying that, I could live in Puerto Rico. I don't know how long, because like I said, they do have crime, quite a bit of crime. Crime in Puerto Rico is no joke. The crime there is maybe on the same level of Baltimore percentage wise. Yeah, they got their share of crime. And then you see a lot of people during the daytime that looks like they're doing absolutely nothing all day, just laying in the sun, hoping the next hurricane misses the island, which we all hope for. But my whole point is that Puerto Rico people, at no point did they ever show me a difference because of my race. And I seen Puerto Ricans, light, black, brown, damn near white, all mingle and hang out together and do their own thing together. I seen a lot of that. I did not see, only this here. But I did notice that most of the politicians are light-skinned. Most of your business guys are light-skinned. I did notice that as soon as I stepped off the plane. Yeah. So if you want to go to Puerto Rico, it's definitely worth a visit. And I would definitely stay in tourist-friendly areas because I did see a lot of cops there. And I saw a lot of seedy stuff, and the video shows you what I saw. So I want you to know that I am very, very open to the idea of going again, and I probably will. Because, a lot of the cooler cruises leave out of San Juan. So I do like to go on a cruise every now and then, and there are places I want to go, and those cruise ships live out of San Juan. Now, if I had no money at all and I want to start life over again, I think I can make it in Puerto Rico. I don't know what I would do. I mean, whether it's selling fruit, having an open fire food cart on the side of the road, but you can make it though. You can make it. I didn't see any prejudice towards any group, race, or culture or whatever. I didn't see any of that in Puerto Rico. They seem to be, as long as you don't bother me, I'm not going to bother you. I'll show you open arms if you leave me alone. I think that's their mentality. And it didn't seem like it was people were depressed or any of that kind of stuff. Nah, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. It was just people just going by their normal day business and not bothering you. And the thing I like about it, no matter what kind of situation they're in, I didn't see any damn beggars. None at all. I seen just people working and going home, doing their own thing, but not bothering anybody that was doing their own thing. I like that. You don't bother me, I don't bother you. And you got sunshine every damn day. Yes, even when it rains, unless it's a hurricane, the rain don't last very long. But like I said, the biggest drawback to me to Puerto Rico is that you gotta fix your infrastructure. Some of the traffic lights don't work. Then again, they could have been working. They just got long lights. I don't know. Could be that they're in a quandary where something's in a loop. But my whole thing is that I don't know if I can raise a family there because I don't know education wise, how much they promote going to the next level of education. Because they seem like, they seem like working in a rum factory is okay. And that could be for, working in a rum factory, don't get me wrong, that could be okay for some people. Depends on what kind of lifestyle you want. And they got some of the prettiest houses. They got all the Caribbean got pretty houses. Puerto Rico got pretty houses too. I seen a few big ones, but most of them are small single family homes. Just look like they're 2 to 3 bedrooms and a couple baths. And the island's very, very hilly. The only place that's flat is the ocean. The island's very, very hilly. So, once you get there, you will get in shape. Yeah, you're going to get in shape. You're going to be walking up and down hills a lot. But, that was the interior of the island. But when I was walking along the coast, I didn't have no problem at all. I mean, everything was pretty much flat, but you can see the mountain range and stuff. And Puerto Rico's a very pretty island. I think it could be the next Hawaii. I really believe that if they got their shit together. I think it could be the next Hawaii. And, some people may not want that. I don't know. But I think they could be because I have never seen why Hawaii got a couple of things Puerto Rico don't have, but well, they kind of have them. Hawaii got the surfing and stuff, but the Atlantic Ocean is a lot rougher than the Pacific, so I'm sure they got surfing there too in certain areas. But they don't promote tourism like a lot of places do. You don't see come visit Puerto Rico tomorrow. You don't see a lot of that stuff. No, you just don't see it. They don't promote it. And the good thing about it too is that if you ask somebody where to eat at in Puerto Rico in San Juan, they don't send you to the biggest restaurant in the whole island that charge you $300 for a steak. No, they send you to a mom and pop place that's got very, very good food. It's local, and that's what they recommend. That's what I like. I'm talking about when I was in the Embassy Suites, I said, where should I go get dinner? And she said, you should go here. And I said, I got in the Uber. I said, what the hell? Where you taking me at? It looked like some back alley, where it's a couple murders may have taken place. But hell no, they had some of the best food you ever going to have. And I was the only person who was not local. And see, that's what I like. Now, I like food diversity. Puerto Rico got it. San Juan got it. It's not internationally, but it's island and Caribbean-based diversity. But still, I went to the same place to eat and had a different meal 5 days in a row. And each meal was better than the one the day before. And I asked, why didn't you recommend this yesterday? And she said, I knew if I gave you what we thought was a little better than average, you're going to come back. And as you come back, we're going to give you that ultimate meal. Because by the fifth day, we give you our top of the line meal, which was fairly priced and very, very good. One of the best meals I ever had. But that's just me and Puerto Rico, me and San Juan. If you don't like Caribbean food, do not go. You can find your New York style food there too, because all the Puerto Ricans go to New York and come back. Not sure what the fascination with New York is, considering in the wintertime, New York is cold and Puerto Rico is not. But I know they got family members there and stuff. So this is your boy DJ Leon. That's my take on San Juan. At the Embassy Suites, I paid about $150 a night. I stayed 6 nights, and I stayed in San Juan at Embassy Suites Casino and resorts and casinos, whatever it is. And, I don't gamble, so the casino part didn't bother me. But that's where you want to stay at. But they got cheaper hotels and casinos and stuff too, but that's where I stayed at. But, you will have a good time and your money be worth it. This is your boy DJ Leon D, your old school traveler, letting you know about San Juan, Puerto Rico. Peace out.